Hello, and welcome back to some more Rune Factory 2 Watering Can Only Challenge. There's a hair in my mouth, probably from the cat. So hello and welcome back. We found out somewhat in the last episode that there's some, we'll say, potential issues to be had concerning, what? Experience levels and grinding and all of that stuff. And while we can absolutely get to that theoretically final dungeon, or at least to the next dungeon, we can't actually properly fight things down there. The things there are just way too powerful for us to deal with. So now we have to figure out how we're supposed to do that. And basically, it's mostly a matter of waiting for these clovers to finish growing. Which, you know, is going to take about 2 in-game months. 2 in-game seasons, which is approximately 1 real-world... No. Just about 2 months, yeah. 2 months as of a few episodes ago, but still... Yeah, gonna be a while. Oh, would you look at that? That's looking nice. Oh, shoot. Yeah, but fell. Bah! In recent news, it seems like another Kickstarter has supposedly finished shipping to Canada, but I still haven't gotten the product yet, and I have to wonder if that has to do anything with the call that I got from a shipping company like 2 days ago that with no email and no message received, just a random phone call. That was asleep when they called, so I didn't answer it. And it's like, my thought process was, if that was a real call from like the actual company, they would have left a message, would have probably got like an email about it. But instead it was just a call, so I figured it was probably nothing. And I'm thinking, what if that was the package they came in for delivery about, you know, before they opened for the day? I didn't answer the call, so they were like, well, she'll call back. That's the biggest thing. They opened from like 10 to 6, and I got the call at like 9:55. Also, I think on a Sunday? Was it? So, who really knows what was going on there? Goodness knows, I don't know. Woo! Sleepy. The Minecraft stuff has been going well enough. It's Minecraft, how much can there really be in that, right? So you can see that these are dealing about... that I'm dealing about 6 or 7 damage at a time to these things. Ultimately, not very much. I'll go up here. And I can just keep doing this over and over again until I manage to faint this Minotaur. I don't even know for certain if I have to faint the Minotaur or not. Easy enough. I do find it funny that by doing this, I do raise my farming level. Kind of fitting, honestly. Yeah, well, I could just buy Clovers, huh? So, instead of having to grow them for, like, ever. God, yeah, if I had known that I needed 4-leaf Clovers for levelizers, I would have started growing them in, like, Act 1. That's a big thing. Would have also started growing all the other crops that were needed. Especially using the Summer Island. Yeah, I got very little XP for all of that. There's really no point in doing it. Heal most of my health. Go back up here. I figure let's, I don't know, grind until level 50, or grind until, like, attack 50. See if that does any better. It's like, oh hey, yeah, if you grind against a monster, like, if you grind against stronger monsters, you get more XP. Slightly more XP. That's like, sigh. If this hits me, it does literally 1 point of damage instead of, like, 50. Oh no, this is pretty simple to do. No. I could go through that dungeon, like, go to the room with the switch and beat 2 enemies only dealing 1 damage at a time. Or I'd really rather deal, like, a handful of damage at least. More than 1. Because even just doing 2 damage means, you know, takes a half as many hits to defeat them. Oh. Way too many items. And now back to the school. Making all of this stuff to eventually just put it all in storage again. And again. And again. Oh, right, because I haven't done the first set. Jeez. I was very confused there for a little bit. Okay, okay. Easy enough. And then the eggs. And of course, another potion. And then to put all of these created products away into storage. Four stacks of each thing. And then go and put away some yarn like much the same way. 4 stacks of yarn. All the same. And then sell some bamboo scraps just to get rid of all of these. Easy enough. Do. Like I said, easy enough. I don't know why, but I sometimes just find myself using the direction pattern playing this game, even though I have the joystick mapped out properly. To just like, what? So I don't know why I don't use it all the time. Joystick is sure easier for playing this. Also, I'm still confused about the why behind... No, I guess it almost makes sense. Like, the why behind the range increases, like the watering size increase for the watering can, because like 1 by 1, 1 by 3, 3 by 3. Oh, right, sorry. And then 5 by 5, which is the one that like basically could not be used. Based on, you know, growing crops in proper orders. And then 9 by 9. When the only place that could be fully utilized is on the main farm, because none of, like, the dungeon farms grow that big. And now, almost level 42. Attack is only 46. I am rather concerned that max level will only be 99 in this game. Because if that's the case, then most of these levelizers that I'm planning on making are going to be pointless. Because what, 36? Yeah, I'm planning, right, because I'm growing, well, 72 plus 18, I'm growing 90, yeah, I'm growing 90 4-leaf clovers. So if the max level is only 99, and thus I only need about 58 of them, I'm sure gonna be missing out on. Sure gonna have a bit way too much, but at least I'll have good healing items. Level, oh, attack 48. Is this going to be enough now? Always disappoints me when games have a thing of like, oh, that monster is way too low level for you. You get 0 XP. Because, like, I understand the reason for doing that in a game is to discourage grinding. Make it so someone can't reach, you know, maximum level in the first area, because you know for a fact that people will absolutely try to do that. As long as they can get 1 XP off of a monster, there are people who are going to just go, well, in that case, let's keep fighting these monsters. until the game makes a stop. Level 100, they can't get XP anymore. It's like, well, now if you fight against the level 2 enemies. Alright, so all these different rooms have staircases that go down. Staircases that goes up. But stopped by a door. I'm imagining that the same is true up there. So if I go left, that's was a difficult fight. Going right, there's a door blocking it. Alright, so now if I go left, that did something. Oh my gosh. Yeah, how much health does the little green dragon thing have? You know, I should go look that up. Just in case it's like 500 or something insane. Alright. Green dragon. In Moon Factory 4, it has 10,000 health. Alright, so if it's the case that this is like the Rune Factory 4, Rune Factory 5 Green Dragons, it could very well have 10,000 health. In which case, there is no way that I am going to beat it. And I should probably stop trying. Now, the main issue is I don't think I saved when I walked in.
Open your eyes. Rune factory.
3:15 p.m. Maybe I did. Okay, so I did save before walking in. That's good. What's not so good is... You know what if I explore everything else except that one little room? Just to have it on the map for later? And then I don't know. Like, I could go back and grind. I could just, you know, sleep every day. Until the four-leaf clovers grow, and that would be like the most, real-time efficient. Get the four-leaf clovers fully grown. Then go and just start making levelizers to, you know, force a bunch of level ups. Oh, hello. Oh, hello. So apparently I don't actually have to fight the monster here. It was just a case of hitting the switch and that being everything that we needed. Oh, cool, and even if you don't have the escape spell, you can still escape. Well, that's sure convenient.
Howdy, kiddo.
Okay. So, with that in mind, I was able to flip a switch to do something. And I really don't know what.
Hi. Afternoon.
Okay, I don't think it did open up any of these four things, so instead... It's Thursday, let's just go to the bathhouse.
Hello. Good afternoon.
Well, okay then. So yeah, what am I supposed to do really? Though, like, grind hammer levels? Whatever. Yeah, grinding experience takes a long time to get one individual level, but waiting for the crops to grow. Basically, once I wait for the crops to grow, the dungeon should suddenly become very easy to beat. So I could just wait for that to happen, but I can't, you know, make the fields grow all crops at like double or as much as 5 times speed like in Rune Factory 4 or 5, otherwise the crops would have been done by now. Do. It's like I could farm for XP, but I think instead it's best to just farm for mining XP. So that's really close. Yeah, level 42. Well, I just need about 16 more mining levels and that will be completely done. Yeah, this is gonna take a while. If only I could fast forward the fast forwarding, huh? Make that even faster. But alas, as it is, it's whatever. I know the last episode I basically talked about Harvest Moon Friends of Middletown the whole time, but it has been on my mind lately. I don't think I will ever actually do another playthrough of that game, mostly because once I learned that you can get a massive amount of wealth super early on, fairly easily, the grind of the early game just stopped appealing. Because, like, that was kind of part of the point of the early game was, you know, you run around, you run around the forest, you get herbs, and then you sell those, and then you run, like, you go to the mines and try to do some digging around in there to get a couple of ores and stuff, and you sell those, and you can only hold a few items at the time, so you have to keep running back to the shipping bin over and over again to check out all of your stuff before it gets collected at 5 p.m. Notably, Harvest Moon Friends of Middletown, the shipping bin 5 p.m. and like, what, every Rune Factory game shipping bin where the items get collected at 5 p.m. It's like, wow, Rune Factory really does take a lot of this. I'm sure that probably started with the first Harvest Moon, but still, Rune Factory really takes up a Harvest Moon. I feel like if I don't stand here and wait for this to actually finish all of the watering, then it won't all be watered. But also in another day or two, I'm going to have a lot of animal feed to collect. I mean, 52 eaten per day, total feed 2,055. So that'd be what? 2 days would be 104. 20 days would be 1,040. So that's almost 40 days worth of food available. Why is everything going all green and stuff? Come on, little buddy, you can do it. I believe in you. And yeah, maybe I should have just watered the fields myself. Who knows? But also, yeah, after I get all of the mining XP done, I guess next would be getting a whole bunch of arbitrary logging XP, huh? Wonder if I should clear out all of these tiles so stuff can grow here so I can get extra, like, logs and logging XP. 3,600 wood. Probably should. Come on, little brat. Oh, right. Also, I'm not 100% certain if I do want to keep going with the Baldur's Gate 3 as a semi-daily. I'm thinking at some point I'll record a bunch of, like, Magic Craft or something again. Not necessarily to fully replace the Baldur's Gate, but just in case I have a semi-daily that I can't or don't want to record, I could just put that in instead. And it's like, okay, but that'd be good enough. That's why I save before bed. I shouldn't go outside today. Yeah, it's tornado weather.
Morning.
Restart.
Open arrive alert. Room factory 2.
Now, supposedly, Fortune Factory 1. We're just restarting the game and then trying again. Would change the weather. Yeah, and unfortunately I did save just before sleeping, so... I feel like even if I did know where Alicia was and talked to her... Oh, hi, here
Good
you are.
evening.
Yeah, she doesn't recognize me and doesn't want to... My bad. Where does your mother sleep? No. So I guess the weather is just
Open arrive alert.
forced to be a storm right now.
Room factory 2.
What if I literally stay outside until it's like way, way, way too late? And then I try checking again. Like, what if I actually just stay up all night? So... Alright. After 1 a.m. Not saving. Nope. 8 a.m. But still stormy. Oh, the rest of this episode is going to be trying to figure out how to deal with the stormy weather and then just accepting it anyway, huh? Well, I guess it's just us now. Sitting here, wandering about, waiting for this to finally die down. Do. Just sitting around waiting. I wonder if there's a good way to do Commander content online. I mean, there's like webcam Commander, which some people do, and they can usually make it work and look pretty nice. So hey, that's good. I know that it's rather difficult to get like high quality webcam footage because believe me, I've tried HD. Yeah, an HD camera is not often enough for it. And then, like, what I'm curious about, I haven't seen any content of it, so either it exists but I just haven't been recommended it, or no one's tried it before. But Commander content using Tabletop Simulator. I mean, Tabletop Simulator is good and all. What I would really want is some way to get rid of the entire overlay and like basically set up like a camera within Tabletop Sim just to have a solid top-down perspective to watch the game going on. It's about 5:02 a.m. You pass out, wake up at 10. So if you sleep before 1 a.m., you wake up at 6 a.m. Skip 5 hours of time. If you wait until after 2, I guess until 5, you wake up at like 8, which is like the ideal. But if you wait all the way till 5, you wake up at 10. But also you get fatigue. You can click on it and it'll tell you what it is. But the worst part of all is it's still storming outside. Unlike with Rune Factory 1, where you can just... So I guess... Like, I don't know if it's based off of seed or based off of specific days. Like, every, 24th of summer is going to be stormy or whatever. But one could theoretically absolutely sleep through a bunch of days, track out which ones are stormy, and remember to talk to Alicia just before each of those days. I also have this as a potential option. It's the next morning, and it's not stormy. Wait. Did I just glitch my way into a nice non-stormy day? if you pass out due to overworking yourself, you wake up at 6 a.m. Okay, now I'm incredibly curious, actually. The rewind isn't gonna make it all the way back there. Wait, you can also buy stuff because you're already here. It's 6 a.m. Your bars are full. You are not sick. You can't go back in, though. So now I have to know is... Especially if you wait till after 1 a.m. to do this. So if we wait out here till after 1 a.m. and then, you know, use item, pass out, do we still wake up at 6 in the morning? Having lost nothing. Because if that's the case, then... Well... Not exactly speedrun tech, but utility tech, right? So yeah, doing Commander content, but on like tabletop sim. If you could set up like a camera, maybe get like a 5th account in with no overlay and just looking down at the board state. And then of course, editing, zoom in on cards, whatever. Zoom in on the individual players' boards while they're having their turns and stuff. Alright, after 1 a.m. Okay, you get woken up at 8. But still full health and everything. But the brrr. Oh, that's the top screen. I've never actually looked at the top screen while starting up the game. So if we sleep, there's a hurricane. But if we overwork ourselves and wake up in the clinic, 1, we have access to the clinic before normal clinic hours, supposedly even on days when the clinic would be normally closed. And 2, we wake up at 6 a.m. full health and energy. And we don't actually have to go to bed. Just wake up at the clinic every morning. I don't know if we lose some money. I didn't check for that. I have no idea if we lose money that way. But that seems interesting. Also, on a new topic of recent news, while playing Minecraft with Azure, I have been having issues of excessive amounts of lag. Like, I use like sometimes I'll just be in an area and I'll, like, you know, walk forward a few tiles and then be teleported right back to where I was just standing. And like every 1 second or maybe multiple times per second, I just get warped right back to where I was. And this could last for, I don't know, 10-ish seconds. It can last for 10 minutes. It can last so long that the old narrator got cut. It can last, you know, I think 10 minutes was the longest I had put up with it before just force closing the game. It just... Like, even just standing in one spot, it warps me back to exactly where I was when the lag started to happen. Like, looking at the exact same position, so I just see, like... It's like, well, I can't do anything. I can't, like, look around even. I can't walk because it keeps warping me right back. And once the game gets to that point, it doesn't tend to get better. during that same, like, evening. So basically, I can't play for the rest of the night. Doesn't matter if I restart the computer. Yeah. I think once I tried, like, uninstalling and reinstalling, like, the whole client altogether, and that did nothing to help it. And I was always suggesting that why it's not working is because my game is trying to register my dragon moving around, because this is a mod pack where you can have pet dragons. And since my dragon was left in free roam mode, it's still trying to calculate it flying around and loading mobs and attacking mobs and stuff. Even though my red dragon is supposed to be commanded to stay in place. However, I have a white dragon that's commanded to go in freely roam around, that I completely lost, and that's why I made the red dragon, was because my white dragon just was completely gone. I wanted a pink dragon, but we didn't have any pink dragon eggs. I think we had like red, white, and like blue. And I knew Azura would want the blue, so I chose the white dragon at first. So, supposedly, there could be the red dragon staying in one place that's causing issues, and I should just call it back to the horn because it seems to be at least fully grown. I had it out because it was still growing, and it doesn't grow well inside the horn. But there is also a white dragon somewhere in the game. How you? Just take that and let's get going. So I mean, if the dragons are the only reason for that happening, then that could be fixed up easily enough. Oh my gosh. But like, yeah, so anyway, doing Commander content, not over webcam, but over tabletop sim, because that also deals with some of the issues of doing Commander content. Well, if we're going to be making new decks constantly, that's going to be a lot of money. Well, if you're trying to make, like, good decks, it'll be quite a bit of money at least. I'm glad that these buttons on the back of my controller aren't actually bound to anything, because I do keep hitting them by accident. And I notice that they're there, realize they don't do anything, and then I start hitting them on purpose. 'Cause, I mean, why not, right? If they're there, let's use them. Yeah, I saw a message, someone posting that it takes a heckin' long time to edit Commander game footage. A heckin' long time. Like, I don't think I've ever spent 8 hours editing one video. The closest that I spent to doing, like, the longest amount of time that I spent editing one video was a small, rather poorly made animatic that I made for a video at one point, where I basically used Flash animation just to basically make, like, one character walks onto the screen, says a couple of lines, and then another character who is already standing there on the screen responds. And I think the entire video was maybe 2 or 3 minutes in length. And it took us about a solid 3 days of work to make. But that wasn't editing, that was animating. And most of that was trying to get, like, the lip syncing of the one character done properly. The other character, I totally phoned it in and just went with, like, an open mouth, closed mouth thing. But the first character, I actually had, like, try to bring the mouth to the sounds of, like, to the sounds that were coming out. It was really annoying because I used, like, Audacity to record, you know, the voice line ahead of time, obviously, because that's what you do in animation. You record the audio first. But I'd have a line, and, like, playing it, like, sound by sound, it'd be like, and the line would be like, for the people of our presidency, like, every individual sound of the sentence was the same sound, but the sentence might have had that sound in it once, and it's like, how does that happen? How did something like that actually happen? And so it took me, other than that specifically, just for actual editing of a video, heck no, I've never taken 8 hours. But apparently 8 hours is a laughably short amount of time to edit a Commander game. Although, to be fair, these are multicam setups for what was originally more than 2 hours of content. So to watch all of the footage from each camera would take 8 hours. I guess the closest that I did to doing something like that was when I did the Aeon's End Legacy of Gravehold, using, like, an actual camera to record and all that. And, like, the first few episodes of that did take a long time to edit. Not 8 hours, but still a few hours. Because I had to watch through, find every single point of, like, dead footage and take it out. And then, after I realized, oh, I can just use, like, a timer app on my phone. I can just use the stopwatch app on my phone. You know, hit start when the recording starts. And then every time I need to, cut the footage, I hit the button on the stopwatch. It's like, oh, 6 minutes, 34 seconds. It's like, that's a normal time that I have to do some editing about. It's like, yep, sure enough. that's, you know, part where I take my hands off the screen, or it's like, oh, I was gonna say that's the part where I spill my drink, but no. Like, oh, and that made it a heck of a lot easier. So it's definitely not 8 hours per video, but I also only recorded for a little over an hour, as opposed to, say, 2 hours or even 3 hours for... I am going to lower the volume on this a bit, so I'm not fighting over the hammering. So I can imagine doing a recording of... Doing a recording of a Commander game taking 3 hours. I could see, I've played Commander games that are that long. I've played Commander games that were shorter than that. And doing it via recording, you know, on camera, it will take longer. So 3 hours is a bit of an underestimate. And so you need, so for the cameras involved, it'd be the one overhead camera, that's the most important. But also, a lot of these programs have one camera looking at 2 of the people and another camera looking at the other 2 people. So that is 3 cameras involved. And some places have like a camera that looks at all 4 people from the side in addition to the other 2. So you can get everyone in the shot at once. So that would be 4 cameras involved that basically all need to be running for the entire time. So not even getting to the logistics of properly setting it up, so the cameras don't see each other and all that, or see other stuff that the cameras shouldn't be seeing. And then also not even getting into the part of potentially having hand cams. Like, say if you just use the 3 cameras, the 3 camera setup, not the most basic of setup, but also not, like, completely unexpected either. Whoops. Alright, so even if you just use a 3 camera setup, which, as mentioned, is not the most basic of setup, but is like reasonable setup. 3-hour game, so relatively short game considering you're on camera playing. Relatively short, not super short. Or at the very least, not even just 3-hour game, just 3 hours overall. That's still 9 hours of footage just to look through. Now, considering that the footage is supposed to be the same footage just you know, 3 times over. Mostly the idea would just be, you know, watch one perspective, probably the top down, and then say if a person talks, switch to their camera to see them talking. So which means you still really have to have... Gosh, yeah. No, yeah, I'm sure I could do it. I did take, you know, a course or 2 in editing. I've taken a course in video editing. So you'd have to have the main footage playing, even if you use like the stopwatch thing like I said to mark every time that you need to cut. Every notable point in the recording, say whenever a card is played, you enlarge it so people can know what it does. So even if it's just the important cards, well then you need to get like an image of the card, either scan it in or search for like a... I wanted to say a PDF, but no, don't search for a PDF of the card. Yeah, search for an image of the card, put that on screen for, 5 seconds or whatever, and then... So yeah, edit in the card. Edit in and out the card images, edit... Like, to change perspective from one camera to another, it's not just a click of a button, but instead you have to find the part of... in the original footage, with nothing cut out, of exactly when you want to cut to another perspective, and then you need to open up the other perspective video, the footage, which I think you could do in like the same instance of editing, to splice specifically that part in and like shove it in its place. Make sure you don't overlap anything or skip out on anything important. So, I mean, I feel like, and this is probably just Hubris talking, I feel like I could do the editing job in less than 8 hours, not counting the amount of time that it takes from after you finish to the video file actually being made. Like, I feel I could probably do it in 8 hours, but it would not nearly be as good as like the big name people who do that sort of thing almost for a living. But I feel like 8 hours I could potentially do it, but it wouldn't be great. Wouldn't have all those extra fancy, like... Yeah, wouldn't have all of the extra fancy animations and stuff playing, like, haha! The cards, leap off of the board and they fizzle out of existence, blah blah. Like, no. None of that stuff. I could do it, but it wouldn't be to the same quality as the big name performers have it. You understand? Cool. So anyway,